So we had a little bit of a sell-off last week, and everybody suddenly turned like mega bearish. And I was chatting to Bruce here in the back, and he says the world is saying dump, but the charts are saying pump. Maybe it's alt season coming, guys. We got some data on that stuff, but we got to look at some BTC levels. If we lose some key levels here, these altcoins are going to get hurt. So we got to look at a lot of things here today, guys. Lots to get into. I've also got Solana today. I've got RNDR. I'm taking a look at stacks. I've got ETH. We've got 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗎𝗓. I've also got pi, and I've got SUI for you guys. So much to talk about. And then obviously we're looking at your token. So let's start this Monday off with a bang. Let's get right into it. And Banter Bubble's not looking the best. I must say my trading view watch list looks a little bit sexier than Banter Bubbles right now, which is covered in red bubbles everywhere, except for Hex and PulseX and Pulse and all this crap. We don't even know if these are still projects. So, I'm excluding these ones for now. But generally sell off. We've seen these alts have bled out a little bit. They hit some nice levels on the weekend, but they didn't really take off. They just kind of floated around. So let's just see what's going on out there. I mean, I know Uncle Run has turned pretty bearish now. I saw the tile from his show, but then we've got guys screaming at us about altcoin season, and maybe there's going to be a catalyst for a potential altcoin season here. And is that going to be BTC's final little dump or sell-off to close a little CME gap at around about 39k? So we're going to take a look at that shortly. So this gent 𝗙𝗫𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙 says welcome to alt season, and he's giving all various reasons why dominance has topped out, and he wants to see this thing push a little bit lower. I've got the altcoin season index. We finally turned super bullish here. This guy has hit 78 on the altcoin season index. I've also got ETH versus BTC on the weekly. We've broken through 200-week MA, 200-day MA. We've broken through the weekly trend that started when it peaked out in September 2022. This is a major trend that we've broken here. So potentially some bullish stuff happening here for ETH still. That is pretty interesting for us. Total 2, this is all the altcoins excluding BTC, and you can see it's pushed very nicely. This is a lovely chart to look at just to get an understanding on where these altcoins are sitting in relation to BTC. And you know, even a little bullish pullback here is not going to really, we're not going to get too badly hurt, I would say, if we do hold a big weekly level here at 700 to 720. And could that potentially tie in with a little BTC wick down just to close out a couple of gaps there? And could that be the trigger for this proper altcoin season that these guys are all screaming about? And then I would target this 860 region at least. If we blow through that, well then there's a lot bigger things happening there. Okay, let's take a look at BTC. Here's the BTC CME gap. So as you can see here, these CME gaps, they do tend to get closed most of the time. And if you look through this chart, we've got a couple of gaps here from when was this? February 23. You can see we had a couple of gaps here. This one wasn't closed. We had this gap over here. They came and closed it. We had this gap over here. They closed it. And now we've got the CME gap sitting here that everyone now is starting to whisper around town here, from 45 down to about 39k. We do have a CME gap. It's sort of staring at us, and it's getting so close that we're starting to feel like maybe we just need a little wick down into this region just to close this gap, and then that might be our potential catalyst that we are looking for just to fire off these alts. So we're going to be looking for something along these lines. If we're looking at the CME chart, we're just going to look at something along these lines to potentially close that and then fire BTC off. Right, let's take a look at the normal 4-hour chart. I've had to convert my range from 2 hours to 4 hour just because we've been in such a tight range for so long that I'm trying to cram in all these candles. So right now, levels that I'm watching for today, levels that are guiding me and these altcoins. Resistance, first one that I'm watching right now, 43,000. As you can see, we've lost that area. We fought it over the weekend, couldn't get it back up, and we've now rejected it again. So big resistance for me here, 43,000 to 43,100. That's a resistance area. What do the bulls want? The bulls want simple plan here. We just want to pop higher, hold this as support, and then we're going to target 44,400 give or take. Call it 44.5 as a nice little juicy area. But first things first, bulls, we've got to break this resistance now. They have been playing around this area. And are we going to have the volume today? Because I believe the US markets are also closed for a holiday. So that is something to take note of. Then supports, you can see what's going on here. We bang these supports multiple times. We know that this is a hot zone here for any pullbacks. So 41,600, that sort of region, not a bad area for us for a potential bounce if they want to try and just bleed us into this area. And then the big ones for me, we've got the 4,600. This is another big area for us. You can see we've got all these 4-hour candles here digging into this region, and then our CME gap, call it 39,800, give or take. These are bearish sort of levels that we're watching now in the short term. I think it makes sense to me if they do send us lower. It makes sense short term to give us a little bounce there at that CME gap if they really want to play that game. But look, this is our plan for today. This is our plan for tomorrow. We'll watch how these candles play out, and then we're going to reassess. As things change. So here's this BTC dominance that everybody's been shouting about on Twitter as well. And you can see we had this beautiful rejection on this weekly candle, and our concerns last week were that we're potentially going to get a bounce here in this dominance region, and that is some weekly horizontals here. We've got a 618, we've got the 200-day MA, so this is quite a big zone. This is a hot weekly area here on dominance, and it would make perfect sense for a little dominance bounce here. And we don't even need to get too bearish about it. It's just just the flow of the chart. And if we do get a weekly bounce here, it would make sense to take us up to around about this 53% region, where we could look for that rejection and then look for something along these lines potentially. And while this dominance drips lower, but right now, okay, big weekly zone for us here. If we lose this area, I think it opens up this 48% move quite quickly for us. So this is it's a big moment for us right here. They're trying to hold it. But there's a potential 4% dominance move here, and that will unleash these alts. And everyone on Twitter will be screaming, and then maybe Uncle Run will be crying because I've just seen he's so bearish. Guys, what are you feeling in the chats here? I want to see the bears here. See if we can get a poll going. Let's see what's going on. Nathan Jones is here in the chat. He says London sucks. Tell us about why London sucks. Smitty says, why do CME gaps need to be filled? They don't need to be filled, but we know these guys like to come back and they like to fill these gaps. And if you look at the CME chart and you go back in time, you can see they often come back and just close these little gaps out. And it's now becoming a talking point because we're getting so close to it. Mihai says there's no bears here. YouTube user says we're going to 10K. Okay, he's feeling slightly bearish there. Eric says good morning. Well, guys, let me know what you guys are trading here. Evelyn is cautious optimistic. Don says no fear for the bear. Look, guys, I must say I'm a little bit neutral right now. I mean, I'm looking at these charts, and I'm seeing some decent areas that we are potentially going to be hitting, and worth a look for some potential bounces. So let's start. Let's start with stacks. Okay, this is a nice talking point because stacks runs on BTC strength. And, the first thing that's going to fall over on BTC weakness is something that's been pumping on BTC strength. So here comes stacks. Now we've lost a major rising trend on this 4-hour chart. And it's slowly starting to drift down. You can see now we've got clear resistance zones ahead here at 1.77. And I'm eyeing out a potential long now for stacks. So if I were you, I would set your alarms in this region down here at about 1.3 for stacks. I'm looking at a potential dip into the zone and a potential long. So what we've got here for stacks on the 4-hour, I've got a 50-day MA, I've got a 618, and I've got some nice horizontals floating around in this region here. And I think if we do get some kind of capitulation or some kind of dip here on BTC to that 39K level, I would think this is an area you want to be looking, especially for the scalpers, to try and jump in and grab yourself a little bit of a stacks long. Just to take advantage of any potential bounce. So set your alarms here, 1.3 for stacks, and then a little bit lower. And this is the wheels coming off zone. Okay, the wheels coming off zone where we're crying. We're absolutely crying. The 200-week MA, the 200-day MA. We've got horizontals down here, 0.77. Don't really want to go there because I think the market is going to look so filthy if we do get to those sort of areas. So first things first, let's look at stacks. 1.3, that's where I'm eyeing this one. Let's see what else is going on. These guys are still talking about 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗓. You guys have been talking about this 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗓 for ages. Rezel's talking about 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗢𝗓. FD wants to know if we can look at some degen plays here like 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗓. Rudy says it's the most depressed day in the UK officially. Tell us what's going on here, guys. What's going on? Okay, so Ian says it's hard to trade since ETF approval. Yeah, it's been a tough one because the trade for the last 4 to 6 months was all about this ETF approval, and now we're flat. We're looking for a catalyst. What's going to drive things? We've seen with ETH, we had lots of ETH bullishness on that ETF announcement, and maybe the narrative is now all about ETH. We've seen ETH BTC break major trends, and here's ETH on the daily that I'm looking at. So I'm bullish on ETH. I like bigger targets for ETH. I'm still looking bigger picture stuff. I'm still looking at that 3.4 to 3.6 region for Ethereum. But how do we get there? And the plan for me right now for ETH is, if we do get some kind of pullback, I think we're going to bag some nice little long entries here for ETH. For the ETH bulls, we're looking at this region here. I've got 618. I've got daily resistance. I've got daily supports here, roundabout 2380. So for me, it's buys at 2400 down to about 2380 for the ETH bulls, and we're going to target that 3.4 to 3.6 region. So that's how I would play this one on Ethereum. And then again, the levels are so clear here and they're so nicely mapped out for ETH on the daily. If we do get some bigger move and the market really starts to push, we're looking at another beautiful daily range low here at 2000, call it 2100. Okay, so ETH traders, 2,100 long zone, 2,400 potential long zone here as well. Guys, long-term players, guys looking at the weekly charts and buying spot, not much of a big difference for you guys. Leverage traders, we're greedy with our levels. This is what we're looking at. So call it 2380 to 24, and then 2,100 for ETH. Both look like great opportunities here. And remember, a big flush out in the market, and this area should get pinged for us to give us that long. And then our target 3.4 to 3.5. So let's just see how big that potential move is. Okay, we're looking at about a 60% move. If we do get that flush to 2,100, we're looking at a 60% move here for ETH. So yeah, that's the game plan there. Let's see what else we got. 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗢𝗙 says 𝗧𝗢 gives him good vibes. YouTube user says punish the likes. Do things to it. Do bad things to that like button. Okay, guys, drop some tokens here in the chats. We're going to start getting to yours soon. I've got Ray in the back and Bruce as well. He's just woken up. He's sipping espresso. He's on holiday. Who knows? Maybe he's got something there in the back for us. I'm watching him there. He's giving me a thumbs up. Maybe he's got something. Maybe he's got something planned there for us. You know, he's giving me the double thumbs up. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, lots of news about 𝗬𝗎. This thing's been pumping. We know it's staker's paradise at the moment. People are looking for airdrops. They're doing all these things, and these tokens are popping off one by one. And we know 𝗬𝗎's been a big narrative play. And what do? You know, this thing doesn't stop moving. And I mean, this thing's gone basically parabolic. So what we need to understand is what's going on with this project. Is there something maybe in the ecosystem we can look at? So I've got a little token for you on the 𝗬𝗎 ecosystem. But let's try and dial in and just understand some of these levels here on 𝗬𝗎, if we can maybe get a little bite of this guy. So first thing you want to do, this is the daily chart firstly. So let's just understand some big areas here of interest. So the first thing you want to do is look at that 236. When something is so bullish, you try and look for that 236 to see if we can get some kind of pullback there. So I'm watching this 1.2 region as the first major zone. So if we do, for example, get some kind of BTC flush out, the first thing you want to do is start looking at tokens that have been super strong, that have shown relative strength. And I would say 𝗬𝗎, stay, ejective. What were the other ones? Audis, Nitron. Ray's going to give me a list there in the back. I know he's got stacks of these things, but you want to go for these tokens that have relative strength and they do recover quickly. And how you're going to pick them is by looking at these big zones where they could potentially just come and ping us in these areas. So what I'm looking at for 𝗬𝗎, 1.2, 1.04. Okay, these are two hot zones here on a potential flush out. If we're not flushing out and we are looking at things on the 4 hour and we're looking for entries and things like that, it's a very simple play. Okay, we're dialing in 4 hour, and we're going to play a regular sort of SR situation here. So let's see what we can pull out of the hat here. So this is 𝗬𝗓 now on the 1 hour. Again, degen vibes, traders, leverage traders. This is what we're looking at, little SR flip. And this has pulled back very nicely for us. Now let's look at some Fibonacci. Let's see where our 382 is. Okay, so they've given us a little 382 bounce here for 𝗬𝗓 on the 1 hour. So potential longs brewing here right now. And in the middle here, you're going to find you've got that little 0.5 that's floating around. So a couple of hot zones here. I would say my preferred one, 1.34 to 1.35, the sort of centerpiece here. But they could easily come play us anywhere in these two areas here. So I quite like the look of this little SR flip. And a little trend brewing here for 𝗬𝗓. So 𝗬𝗓 traders, you want to jump on the train. Potential longs here, especially for the leverage guys if you're interested. And then lower down, you're looking at your supports, your range low. So your range low, 2.4, you can see here. We've got a nice little cluster of candles building in the zone over here. So anything in that region is a nice little range low support by 1.24 down to our 236 fib at 1.2. So we're looking at something along those lines. Let's see what else we got here. Andrew says founders pets memes are going crazy. There's another one. There's some dog now on Solana as well. Vitalik's dog or Vitalik's cat. Guys, is Hemi the cat? Because I think he's got a cat or a dog. Just let me know what's going on there. There are Myro, there's also Milo, these type of things. Okay, so guys, that's the plan. 𝗬𝗓, short-term trades, you know what to do now. Weekly trade as well, you also know what to do. And here's 𝗬𝗓. They've got 𝗬𝗓 Swap, SSWP. They're more than thrilled to announce the first of our upcoming new products, the 𝗬𝗓 Swap Launchpad. Okay, little could be something here on the 𝗬𝗓 network, and that news has come out, and you can see they pumped quite quickly. This is the 8-hour chart I'm watching. This is 𝗬𝗓 Swap. The ticker is SSP, and again, a little SR flip here. Looks like an interesting setup. What I would do, watch your horizontals, watch your big support levels. There's an area to take note of. 0.0034 is your support region. And again, this 8-hour, look, the 8-hour pump, they did sell it quickly, but it is holding now. Let's look at the 1 hours. And we can see we do have a little trend here on 𝗬𝗓 Swap. Okay, so potentially something there, guys. This is obviously the safest play is to trade 𝗬𝗓. You've seen the levels, but maybe something here on 𝗬𝗓 Swap for those interested in little proxy plays. Okay, let's see what else we got. INSP. What is that? 𝗘𝗫𝗪𝗧 says INSP is ready to be sent. Let's see what else we got here. Chico. What is Chico? You guys got to stop talking about this Hemiel. Fufu, I can talk about it. Chinese New Year. Yeah, that's a good one. I see CFX gave us a decent move over the weekend as well. So CFX traders as well. Remember, that could be a nice little play for Chinese New Year to also keep in your bags. You guys are talking about 𝗘𝗫 now. Jeez, we're going old school here. We're going proper old school here with 𝗘𝗫. Let's see what else. FLR pumping. Yeah, so that there was a partnership between Google and Flare. Here we go. So you're talking about FLR and the pump. Well, there was a little bit of news, so a little bit of a news pump. Maybe it's going to continue, but yeah, that is generally what happens here. They come with the news, they give it a little bit of pump, and then they potentially move on. Right, the next one I've got for you guys is Injective. We've got an airdrop, not an airdrop, forgive me. We've got a token unlock coming for Injective. Around about 3.6% of the tokens on Injective are getting unlocked in 5 days. Is that a negative plan for it? Maybe, but maybe it's getting priced in here because you look and at Injective on the 8-hour, and they've just been ranging. They did this to us previously. They did this to us for days and days and days and days. But look Are they just ranging injective here while they wait? Let's see what how this eventually does play out. But what I can give you now, if there is some kind of flush out, what you want to do, injective levels, we know relative strength, it recovers quite quickly. In dumps, you want to look at 34, first area. Bigger move, you're looking at 28. Okay, so nice little flush outs from BTC. Where you want to buy? 28 to 29. And 34 for injective. I mean, this is a massive range here that they've been trying to hold for quite a while. So keep your eyes on this guy for injective. 5 days time that token unlocks. Maybe it's going to be priced in by then. And then let's look at injective on the 1 hour and see if there's something going on here for potential short-term setup. What we're going to do is we're going to pull a trend from the highs. We're going to try and get a couple of touches here on the trend, see what we can get. I see we've got a nice little trend here. Okay, there's a trend with a couple of touches. So potentially this is injective on the 1 hour. Could be a little degen scalper play happening here. Let's see how this goes. We do have a trend from the lows to the highs. And then just let's grab some fibs. Okay, so possible scalp here. Possible scalp. Eyes on BTC. Eyes on what BTC is going to do for us right here. I would say watch the 618 and trend for injective. Okay, if it holds this little rising trend, I think it could be on. So keep your eyes on this rising trend here. Could be little scalp play here for injective, and then simple play. If it loses this little trend, then we know things are turning potentially bearish. Okay, then we're looking at lower down, and then we are starting to attack that 34 region on injective. So right now, a little dip into the 618 and trend could be a little scalp long for us. We lose that guy, then things are turning a little bit more bearish for us. I got request for 𝗘𝗫𝗓𝗧. That's a good one. We need to do that. What else we got? Litecoin, Gauge. What's games for a living? Phantom, Neon, Rune. I saw Rune was on a big level as well. That was looking okay earlier. Then Tensor. He's talking. This is the founder of Tensor, and he's talking some bullish news here for Solana. He was saying earlier today. Let's just pull up his tweet here. He was saying it's a bullish week ahead. Big week ahead for Solana. So I thought, well, maybe let's just pull out the Sol chart, and maybe he's trying to drip feed us some information here. But here's Sol on the 8 hour, and I thought, well, this is a good one because we've pinged these lows a couple of times here at this 87 region, and it's still holding this trend for now, and maybe we're going to get some kind of move out of Sol. So what I want to give you guys is a potential bounce play here for Sol at 87 to 88. That's a hot zone for me that we're going to watch, and it's quite a simple play here. And you're going to see we've got a lot of these altcoins that are going to be teeing up something along these lines. So the bulls, it's a very simple play. You're looking at this 87 to 88 region for a bounce. Okay, and then you can see we've got our trend that's going to give us a little bit of resistance and things like that. And the play there is if we pick up the scalp and we do get that bounce, then we're looking for this break of trend where we can always add to our position and really start pushing things. So try and get a sneaky buy in there potentially for the bulls, 87 to 88. That is what we're watching. And then again, very simple play here. If we lose this rising trend, and this is a rising trend from October, okay, so this is not a joke. This is the 8 hours. Sol's been on an absolute tear. If we lose this rising trend, we're looking at a very simple move here. And you're going to see a lot of these alts are doing it. And we've seen a lot of them have front run these type of moves. We're looking at this loss of trend. We'll no doubt get some kind of bounce. And then we're going to tee up potential shorts leading into that area. And we saw it with Doge last week. They gave us this exact setup. Doge lost a rising trend, pinged, bounced nicely, and then it rejected at the 618 horizontal trends and 50-day MA. So this is what we need to be watching now. For Sol, let's pull out the 50-day. Let's just take a look where that is. Okay, so that 50-day MA is pushing up as well. So if we do lose that area, that becomes a big resistance zone. And then we're going to start putting our bear caps on again. We've had a nice run here into this ETF and all the news, but If things start telling us we need to start turning potentially bearish, we need to be geared up and set up for that. Otherwise, we're going to have a miserable time if we're not trying to look for shorts where we could be potentially shorting. So if we lose that trend, that is the type of setup we are going to be looking at. And yeah, when the time's right, we'll look for it. But 87 to 88, when that becomes a resistance zone for us, potential shorts starting to brew here in the market. And then again, we turn bullish once we start breaking these trends. So we track these downtrends, and when they eventually relent and they give us these breaks, then we can go again and we can turn bullish again. And we will also be tracking these horizontals step by step all the way down. We're going to track these areas. So quite a simple play here. Okay, let's see. 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏. There's some old school guys here. Hey, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Litecoin, old school stuff. 𝗃𝗫𝗃𝗃 says Myro to the moon. Guys, yeah, Myro, bonk, you know, bullish soul. Then you go bullish soul meme coins, things like that. Okay, next one, there's speculation. Now, this wasn't a big account, but I just found this interesting. There's speculation on 𝗏𝗏. You know, they're saying, let's see if the 𝗏𝗏 starts this whole staking narrative. It could be a little bit bullish for 𝗏𝗏. So who knows? I mean, 𝗏𝗏 was an airdrop. And if they start getting stuck into the airdrop situation, then there could be a little bit of action here on 𝗏𝗏. So I thought it's quite topical. Let's pull up this 𝗏𝗏 chart because, I mean, they actually dumped it way lower than we thought they were going to send it. But it has turned a little bit more bullish lately, especially on the 8 hour. So it has got a little bit of interest from me now. And I mean, you can see they sent us basically to hell here. I mean, this was the launch. This was the low after the launch. And we were looking at potential buyers in this region. That was our first area of interest once we lost those horizontals, and they sent us to darker, deeper places here. And now that it's had a decent recovery. So 𝗏𝗏 bulls, if you're interested in 𝗏𝗏, this is what you got on an 8 hour. Okay, it's pretty clear here what's going on. Little trend break. They've come back and they've tested at 382. Okay, so this is hot zone 1 for you. You can see what we've got here. We've got horizontals. We've got 382 fibs. Okay. And we've got this trend in this region that we are watching. Then lower down, I've got a 618 and I've got these horizontals for you. So 𝗏𝗏 bulls, we are looking at something along these lines. If this token is going to turn bullish, these are your two areas where you're looking for longs and a potential bigger move here on 𝗏𝗏. So keep this one loaded, keep this one on your watch list. And if this narrative comes out here with airdrops and things like that, I think it's going to change the game a bit. Let's see what else we got here. I see Bruce's bailed. Bruce has gone to Sniper Club, but don't worry, we got head of likes here hiding in the back. Definitely. Okay, let's see. 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏, the questions for 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏. Okay, let's go. Render. So I wanted to take you guys through render again. You know, if the market's looking bearish, let's start identifying a couple of areas where we can get potential bounces or potential. Simon likes to call them stink bids. And things like that. If we do get some kind of market flush out, and I've pulled a mega fib here on render on the weekly, and we've got quite a nice little tie-in here on these fibs. You can see I pulled it from the absolute lows for render, and we've got a nice weekly tie-in with horizontals here at 3.33. So this is my first render hot zone on the weekly. So this is the assumption we're getting some kind of sell-off. Where does this stop? Where does this potentially bounce? Well, the first thing you want to look at on the weekly, call it 3.4 down to 3.33. That is a nice weekly hot zone. And then we've also got a nice little middle, or call it the 0.5 area. You'll see this 0.5 fib is going to tie in nicely with this guy. 2.8. So that is a hot zone for me for render. And then lower down, 2.2. So these are hot zones for you guys. Stink bid zones. These are areas, if we do get some kind of flush out, this is where you're looking to pick up some of these tokens. So keep an eye on these areas, this 3.3 to 3.4. And these are all potential DCA areas. These are potential bounce areas. These are scalp long areas. If we turn bearish and we're bouncing in areas, remember, on these weekly charts, we're getting 5, 10, 15% bounces along the way, even if things have turned bearish and the main trend is negative. So, you know, if the market does start giving us a little bit of a downtrend, remember, all of these pumps that we get back up to these trends are big movers still, and you can still take advantage of buying longs, especially the leverage guys in these solid reaction zones. And yeah, things could still be a little bit fun there. Guys, you got to stop talking about this Hemil. Yes. They really want this Hemil chart. Okay, Alan likes that STX setup. Yeah, guys, I think just be patient. You know, you identify these areas, identify these hot zones, and remember, if the market's running away, it's easy to jump in. But when things are turning super bearish and you're looking for hot zones, just identify these areas, understand where they are, get your alarms on, get your orders in just in case. Set some couple of limit orders. Kishore says super is in the zone. First, let's go. Let's look at Lido. Okay, so Lido was another big one. This is an ETH strength, ETH narrative play. And quite interesting now, Lido is showing a little bit of weakness. And it's now at a critical area. So we've had this mega pump here for Lido on the weekly. They've now sold it very hard. And right now, this is where Lido needs to bounce. So anywhere in this area down to about 3.1, I would say on the weekly, we need Lido to come and respond here for us and send it higher. So this is a massive area now for Lido. You can see we've got this 382 in play here, the weekly levels as well. So anything down to about 3.1 is an area we want to see Lido hold. And then lower down, Lido traders, you've got your 618. Look at this nice reaction here that we had off this weekly on the 618. So call it 2.8 is another hot zone for Lido, and 2.6. That's where you got to be. So remember, these are flush out areas. BTC wants to dump absolutely shit itself and close some gaps down there, and maybe these alts are going to get hurt. Just identify these hot zones. So again, Lido 3.1, 2.8, 2.6. Big zones. These are big reaction zones, big bounce areas. Dodo wants some ARB. Away wants some ADA. Santa likes GRT. What else? Yeah, Metis. We need to update Metis. That was a good one. Okay, here's a link update as well. I mean, look at this absolute perfection here. Here's this link chart. This link trade finally pinged our TP2. I mean, they took us on a ride though. I'm not going to lie. You know, they sent us up. They nearly round tripped us. They just missed our stop loss area there, and you know, sent us all the way back up and pinged our TP2 with a mega rejection. So link traders, let's see if there's a new setup here, new potential scalp setup here for link. So let's clean this chart up for you, and let's see what we can get. Let's see if there is a potential pullback buy here and something we can work with. Okay, so there's a little trend here. This is link on the 4 hour. So we've got 3 touches on a trend here. And what you want to do again on any pullback is try and identify a potential hot zone. Where's it going to bounce? Where could we get a reaction? And here's the first hot area here for link. So if we do get a little move lower here, and this is a medium, you know, small little move, nothing major. We're looking at potential buys here, 14.9 to 15.15. So as a potential long zone for link traders. Looks interesting to me. And then backup zone, we've got 618 and horizontals 14.5. Okay, so these are 2 hot zones here for link. If this retracement is a bullish retracement, that's what we're looking at for link. Okay, so 2 TPs taken out already. Best entries, again, these were our lower entries, our horizontal entries. Next best entries, guys, are these trend breaks and these retests. Okay, now, you know what I've done? I've dusted off my Prime XBT. Okay, Prime XBT, they're back in the mix. And let me show you this Prime XBT. So this Prime XBT account, I've been sitting in this oil long. Actually, we forgot about oil. We went alt season and things went crazy. And I closed all my oil longs except one. So there's one that's been just sitting here. It's been floating around while we wait for our next trade. And now I've opened a short on the S&P 500. I'm going to show you now. So this is Prime XBT, guys. And what you can do here with Prime XBT is you can send crypto here. and you can trade gold, oil, silver, the S&P. You can trade currencies, and you can also trade crypto on Prime XBT. So grab a link in the description here. There should be multiple sign-up bonuses and all sorts of cool things. So hit that link there on Prime XBT. Take a look at what's going on there. And I'm going to show you now. I've opened my first short on the S&P. I might add a couple more. I'm going to show you this S&P chart and take you through my thought process here. And yeah, you guys, you can join me on that one. Or maybe it's going to blow up, but you know, we've been things are looking a little bit bearish for me on this current S&P. So right now the market is closed. Okay, so I have opened the short, but what I'm looking at here, this is the S&P on the daily, and first things, we have banged into this major daily resistance area. So we are looking at blowing through potential all-time highs. That is a possibility. But what was interesting to me on this S&P was that we had the price moving up again, and we had the oscillator moving down. So if we just dial in a little bit here, we had the S&P, we had the price moving up, and we had the oscillator in a downtrend here. And if this move continues now, we should get some kind of reversal here on the S&P. They've tried it once. They never got to my first target. My first target was 4,600. And maybe this is now an opportunity to get stuck into this one. I think if we do get some kind of move lower, we're going to get a bounce here now at this 4.6. I'll tell you why. We've got this daily resistance turned. Well, it's going to be turned into support. We've got the 50-day MA as well, bringing up that area at 4.6. So again, I've opened a starter short here on the S&P. And let's see how it plays out this week. It's quite a simple plan here. If we do break higher and the candle starts closing up above that area, then I would say we're invalidated and we're heading back down. But right now, for me, I'd like to see this RSI drift a little bit lower with the price action and just send us down. You know, just a little short. You know, we dusted off the Prime XBT. Maybe it's time to start playing around with some gold and oil and all those things again. So I'm hunting the charts for you guys. I did look at gold and oil. I couldn't find anything very exciting at the moment. Okay, let's look at super. Lots of requests for super here. So let's pull up super. Oh, nice little trend break. Okay, so we've looked at the super before. I think we looked at this one last week. So the area that we gave a support here on super was 0.5399. So we were looking for a candle close under 5399 to close that long. And look how they've held it. They've just held it in position this whole time. They've kept buying it. So that's looking okay. So super traders, support areas you're watching. Again, if they come back, you're looking at call it 0.54. If you close under 0.54, then I would say that we're potentially looking lower. But right now, what do we have? We've got a break, and they are coming back for a little retest. So let's see if we can get some fib tie-in from these lows. I'll just be interested to see what they give us here. Yeah, well, look, we've got a 618 down here as well. Okay, so the 0.54 looks like a decent support area for me. Potential support here. You've got 8-hour candles. You've got the 50-day MA as well. So around about 0.576. Also an area of interest here. Heidi wants to know, why is Curve lagging? So there's so much FUD around Curve, and I think the founder or something's got a massive debt obligation or things like that. So it's a little bit bearish right now. Again, the fundamental guys in the chats, you know, let us know if I got that right there on Curve. Yes, ZIL is slow, Phantom is slow, 100%. I'm still sitting in a ZIL long, still just holding this thing. It's like watching paint dry, really. It's a deep burn watching this ZIL thing play out. Okay, let's see. Render is ready to nuke to 3, says Amir. He's not a Render fan, really. Let's see what else we got. Let's look at Metis. Let's go Metis. Oh, there's a lot of drawings on here. Okay. Let's just clean this up a little bit here for you guys. Okay, Metis 8 hour, looking decent. Eh? So we've seen a lot of these horizontal breaks, retests, and then it's away. So let's, I think, yeah, there's some work to do here. We need to find some kind of area of interest here if we do get a pullback. So let's start with some horizontals here. Okay, that's your first hot zone. Okay, we don't have great fib tie in here on Metis. It's not listening to the Fibonomics, but what I can give you, areas of interest here. This is Metis now on the 4 hour. Okay, remember, I think this is Vitalik's mom, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, she got into crypto. Can you believe it? So here we go. Here's your first level of interest, 114.6. Okay, pullbacks to there, interesting. And then you're looking at 97 to 98, but I do like the look of a move. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to give it to us now. That would be ideal, something along these lines. What I could say is, you know, we're at a resistance zone now, so let's dial in here on the 1 hour. Resistance right now for Metis. Okay. Remember, your best entries, when you break these horizontals and you pull back, you get that little move in there. Those are normally your best type of entries for these type of setups. And now you're pushing into a resistance zone, so anything is possible here. Rejection, blow up. But what I can suggest, you can mimic this exact move here that you've seen here. So if we do get something like that, you want to look at something along these lines. So you want it to pop, but you want to just grab a little bit of support there. Yeah, once some support develops, then you should be okay, or you should be a little bit safer. Okay, lots of requests for Nia, lots of requests for Trias. There's like Trias army here in the chats today. What is going on here? Let's see. Oh, this thing's falling over. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I guess to be fair, it hasn't been that bad, the dumpage here, but let's take a look here. What do we got? The old 618. Okay, so there's our old 618. So we're moving into a horizontal now. Trias fans. Let's see if we've got some trend action here. And let's try and identify another area. Okay, so let's look at that. Okay, I've dropped that 618 to this low. I want to just see what we got here. That's interesting to me. So if we lose this current level, okay, we know this current level is daily support, so we understand that 12.5, we know that's strong. If we do lose that area, our next potential reaction zone for Trias, 11. That is your next hot zone. That's your next reaction zone, your next potential bounce area. So first prize, we bounce here and you get a little bit of up down. Okay, you see what happens at that trend, you deal with it there. Second prize, dip lower. 11's where you buying scalpers, that's where you're looking. Away really loves its ADA. And then let me know in the chats, guys. We got to look at this cash chart. I'm playing around with Coincall, and you know, on Coincall they let us do options. We can do call options, we can do put options if we bearish or bullish, and you know, I'm looking at these cash options, and potentially they're going to let us open an option for a week's time, and I want to know some thoughts there. So take a look at your cash charts. I'll pull mine up just now. Give me some ideas to what you guys are thinking. Where's CAS going to be in 7 days time? So think about that. I'm going to open this Coincall again for you guys and show you what I've been doing. Okay, so ADA, let's take a look here. Okay, so first reaction zone for ADA, very simple move here. You just take a fib from the low. This was in October, so we want to just see how big that move was. October fib pull to the highs. Okay, so we can understand where our first reaction zone is. Big reaction area here, 382, tied in with a 50-day MA. You can see it's reacted a lot in this area. Look at these candles. The first time it hit this area, look at the size of that bounce. Then they did dance around this area. Okay, so that's our first hot zone. Then we've got 618 horizontals. Okay, another hot zone. So this is a flush out area for me. ADA flush out zone 0.41. Okay, current area 0.51. Okay, not a bad zone. Flush out zone 0.41. That's where you want to be. And then let's look at the 0.5. I see this 0.5 has been coming up a lot lately, and you can see there it does get hit. Gets hit a lot. Jackie, the guy I used to trade with, Jackie, used to always tell me 0.5, 0.5. And here it is. You can see we get a lot of action on this 0.5 sometimes. So hot zones right now for ADA 0.51, 0.46, 0.41. I guess someone has to buy Cardano. George says Cass or Cardano. George, we're gonna look at Cass now. We're gonna look at Cass now. Johnny says, "Where's Jackie these days?" We must find Jackie. We must see where Jackie is. He loved that 0.5 fib. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, lots of Casper comments. We got comments for Celestia as well. Okay, let's look at this Cass. Now, if you guys remember, I took out some options on Coincall. When was it? Last year, and I had quite a big call on BCH, and I was saying no, BCH was going to go to like 280 or 290 before they strike it. And you know, at one point I was feeling quite smug. I was probably $700 or $800 up on my BCH call, and right towards the end, before they closed it out, they came and they crunched the market. And I mean, it was perfect timing for them because they sent me all the way back. I did a full round trip on that BTC, and then they exited that option. So right now, remember, on Coincall you can trade futures and you can trade options. So I've been playing around with these options. So you can see I've still got my ETH September 24 options open. My first bid was $4,000. My next one was $5,000. So I've opened two ETH positions. So what I'm saying here is that by 27 September 24, ETH is trading above 4,000 or ETH is trading above 5,500. And then I messed up the size of this one. When I was with 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗎, we opened up this long on BTC. We were saying this call option on BTC, 140,000 by September 24. But now what they've done here at Coincall, they're giving us options. We can play tokens like CAS, for example, that expire on the 26th of January. So you can click on the 26th of January and you can basically guess what you think the price is going to be for CAS come the 26th of January. So that's in 11 days time. And then you can click put. These are your put options, and then I mean, you can see the leverage they're giving you. If we think its CAS is going to go to 0.05, they're giving you 2,574x leverage for that play. But if there's some lower targets here for CAS, if we think it's going to be lower in a week's time, we can open these options and try and target. So guys, let me know in the chats what you guys are thinking here. Are you bullish for 11 days time? Let's see, month end, maybe it's going to be pumping. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's pull out this cash chart in the meantime, and I'm going to show you some areas of interest to me. Okay, so here is our cash trade that we gave. We gave this one in Sniper Club. We've hit TP1. Okay, so that trade has now hit TP1. Let's try and look at just some levels here for CAS that are interesting to me. And we're trying to say where we're going to be. Where we're going to be on the 26th of January. And what we can do is start identifying some hot zones here in case things turn bearish. Hot zones for CAS that I'm watching. 0.1, that is still a hot area for me. I've got the 100-day MA here, I've got horizontals, I've got the 12-hour supports, Hot zone here, 0.1. And then I quite like this area here, 0.08 for CAS. So let me know the CAS bulls here and CAS bears. And there's near, lots of near here. Okay. 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗧 says CAS is like a store brand. Instant regret. Guys, come on. we mustn't give up on CAS. Okay, so let me know your thoughts. I'm looking at a potential target here for CAS for 11 days time. If we're going down 0.08, that is my first hot zone. Okay, let them come through. Dennis says 0.14. Okay, so he's quite bullish there. That's the high. That's that range high for CAS that he likes. Okay, Ray, just keep an eye there on the chats there. Let me know what's coming through. Aaron likes 0.089. BT Collins like uber bullish here. He's saying 0.2. Okay, so I mean, yeah, that's a big one. We're talking 11 days time here. So look, I quite fancy this 0.08. So let's see what comes through there. Okay, there goes XAI. We haven't covered this one yet. This thing's now ripped before we can speak about it. Okay.
I know some big buyer that bought a big bag. I think that's what's going to come.
Okay, so here's XAI. This is XAI on the 1 hour, and here we are. It's just they're sending this thing. Okay, so you heard there might have been a big buyer stepping in. Right now, you're looking support areas for XAI 0.95. That's where you need to be. This is now your support area. 1 hour is now absolutely ripping. So it's a little bit tricky now if you want to dive in. But your support area, XAI 0. Call it 0.95. That's an area you want to watch now. And then scalpers. This is absolute degen stuff here. This is filthy degen stuff. If you're going in here on the 15 minutes, you're looking at 1.02 and 0.99. These are your two areas of interest here for the 15-minute scalpers. That's degen stuff. But safest play, 0.95. That's where you need to be. Okay, let's go TIA. And then I've got AVAX for you guys. Look at this. Okay, so somebody asked us probably last week sometime. They said, what is the target? How do you figure out the target for something like TIA? And we pulled out the 1.618 fib. I mean, this is incredible, the way this stuff works. I mean, again, we've had no levels to help us. We've had nothing other than a guesstimate using a 1.618 fib. And look what it's done here. It's absolutely pumped into this area with a mega rejection now on this 1.618. So guys, remember, if you're in price discovery and you're looking at these targets, you're trying to identify targets, what you need to do is you need to pull your 1.618, or you just pull your fib from the previous high to the low, and then that's going to give you a 1.618 extension that you can play with. So you can see what we did here. We pulled our fib. We went from this high on the Friday, the 5th of January. We pulled it from the high to the low. The low was 8th of January. So the high from the 5th to the low on the 8th, that's where we pulled that fib. And you can see how it just responded perfectly to that science on that 1.618. So nice little rejection so far. What I would say now, if we're looking for areas of interest, where can we get some kind of scalp, or where can we jump in, get some kind of reaction? 17.24 looks like our first hot zone. So your areas here, 17.24 and 15. These are the two hot zones for me, for TIA. There's a nice little horizontal there as well. So 15 and 17.24. These are the two hot zones. Okay, guys, I need answers here on CAS. There's lots of bulls here. There's some big numbers coming through here. Ray, CAS numbers, what you got? What do you like?
I like this one. Right on the 9 cents.
0.08905. Okay, Let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we're going to do a put option here on CAS. There's a 0.085 and there's a 0.095. Let's go 0.0925. So let's get this one.
I agree. So you get in the money.
No, just lost my screen. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. 0.0925. Okay, let's see how we go. Let's buy this thing. So let's go limit. What are they asking here? We'll drag our dial here. Let's go $200 here. Let's go 35%. That's about $220. Okay. Let's see, we locked in there. Okay. Well, we're going to check back in 11 days. See if we're right. See if we're wrong. Let's see how it plays out. Maybe we can open a couple more this week. Let's see how things goes. But yeah, right now, so that CAS is locked and loaded. Let's see what else we got. Rich maybe says puts on CAS getting interesting today. Look, I had a little bit of fun on this coin call. I was quite disappointed on my BCH call. I was really feeling very smug on that BCH, and they came right at the last minute. At the 11th hour they came and they chowed me on that BCH. But yeah, let's have a go. Let's see where we are with CAS in a couple of days. I see 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗢𝗙𝗧 likes CAS at 0.17. I mean, that's quite a big number. Okay, and you guys, you're asking me about this 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡. Jeez. Let's see if we can get 𝗪𝗚𝗚𝗡 here. Let's see, here's 𝗪𝗚𝗚𝗡. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you guys want degen stuff. Here's degen stuff. Okay, so here's Chonky from last week that we spoke about. Okay, so nice little move on Chonky. Hopefully some of you guys got Chonky. You can see we bought it in that region over there. So nice little mover there for Chonky. And now 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡. I'm assuming 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡 is on the Sol network. So let's go. 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡. See, now this is the thing, guys. If you're not careful, you can end up looking at the wrong contract. Okay, so there's a lot of imposters come here and they create fake tokens and all these things. Okay, so let's see. I'm assuming the guys in the chats that are shouting 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡 at me, I'm assuming this is the one you're looking at, which isn't actually moving, with a fully diluted market cap of 55 million. No, guys, let me know. All the people shouting at me about 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡, where is this thing? Show me. No, I mean, I would stay away from this. If this is it, you don't know what you're getting yourself involved in here, guys. If this is the one. Otherwise, let me know in the chats quickly here what's going on, and we can try and find it for you guys. I mean, I had 4,000 people shouting 𝗕𝗜𝗚𝗡 at me all day. Okay. Let's do NEAR quickly. Oh, and AVAX. Okay, so this is AVAX, another one I wanted to talk to you guys about. So there's two plays here on AVAX right now. Firstly, the first play was, which we picked this up the other day. We picked this up last week. We had potential right shoulder coming into play, which is actually a bearish little look for AVAX. And you're going to see this on a lot of these other tokens. So potentially bearish setup here for AVAX. How does this play out? Well, a bearish setup like this is going to play out something along these lines. You're going to lose this level. And then we're looking probably at around about the 618 and wick low region at about 30. So that's the bear case for AVAX based on what we're seeing in front of us. So we were saying yesterday, we were getting a little push from AVAX, and we were saying, look, if they confirm this right shoulder on this head and shoulders, things could potentially be turning a little bit bearish for AVAX. So keep your eyes on this. This could be also another leading indicator for a couple of things falling over here in the market. So watch this carefully. But what I can give you for the bulls, the guys who want to be long, right now, this is a 618. This is horizontal. We've got the 50-day MA, and we're right at the base of this head and shoulders. So again, to invalidate this head and shoulders, well, what you want to see here is some kind of trend going down. But to really invalidate this, we need to break this trend, and we need to start breaking that horizontal and break that right shoulder that is potentially coming into play here. So until that right shoulder is broken, this could be a potentially bearish looking AVAX here for us. Don Leon says low cap is low crap. Okay, guys, that was great. Look, we've used up an hour again. So many charts here to talk about. Yeah, some guys are bearish, some guys are super bullish here on these altcoins. We're seeing a lot of indicators telling us there might be an altcoin season. I'm a little bit wary of a potential BTC flush first, and then they're going to ignite these altcoins. So that is something I'm watching out for, ideally. And again, another option with these altcoins, you can always just grab those trend breaks and you can climb into those guys as they start moving. So right now I'm watching BTC very closely. I wouldn't be surprised if they come with a sneaky move, try and just flush things, and that triggers a potential alt season for us. So that is what I'm watching for over the next 24 hours, guys. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Let's see what they give us tonight. Let's see what they dish out. Remember, US is closed, low volumes here. They could play a little bit of games with us, but tomorrow I think we're back on business as usual, and then things are going to be cooking again, and we're going to get a proper picture as to what is going to be happening this week. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We'll see you guys later.